Hello chaps, John with you, and it's time now to get started on the Phantom. Yes, the Phantom. And apparently we start off by painting. It's a weird one. I know I've never done that in a kit before, but we go down to the instructions. I'll explain what I'm talking about, but we start off with some painting. Yay! Okay, so here we are, we're down with the instructions, and for starting off, we start off with the cockpit. Yes, the cockpit is the first thing we get painted. Right. Excuse me. Here's our cockpit. Well, our cockpit panels, okay. There's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 panels to get painted up first. Right. So we start with this one here, and I'm going to paint them on the sprue because it gives a little hint there to right here. It's easier to paint them on the sprue, and I suppose it is to a certain degree. It probably is a lot easier to paint them on the sprue. So we're going to do that. We're going to paint them on the sprue. Now the main colour here, as in the base colour for these panels, is a colour that they call dark gull grey. Okay, so I'm going to get them painted in the grey, and then we'll start adding on the different colours as needed. Each of these little triangles has got a little number inside in it, and each of those numbers correspond to a colour. So I'll start here then, the first page, right down there. Okay, it's got all the colour colours for them, right? Now, number 3 is the main one here for the cockpit, and it's called dark gull grey, right? Now, I use Tamiya, and unfortunately, if we look along, we don't have a matching number for Tamiyas. And then again, if anybody knows me, I very rarely go by what it tells me to do anyway. I go for sort of the nearest colour that I have to that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get those pieces, I'm going to leave them on the sprue, and I'm just going to paint them in the grey that I have. The grey that I have. And that's going to be my base colour, and then I'll kind of carry on then from there with those. So I'll get them painted, I'll come back and we'll have a look at them all painted up. Okay then, so like I said, we've started. I've painted all these little things here. I must admit, I'll admit it to you now, I didn't use the proper colours, okay? I kind of used a bit of artistic license and put me up against the wall and shoot me. But I did it the best way I possibly could. I was trying to follow this thing. It drove me mad. I ended up in a big blob half the time, and I had to kind of go back over myself and kind of redo it. I'll show it to you now in a second because I have everything done. Well, everything part of this this section done. Right. I got the pieces painted. There they are. There. They're all installed. All these little parts are installed. This box under here. Right. Once I've installed it into this, it's obvious that it's the front wheel well. The inside of that was painted white. So, you know, I've gotten this far, and I must say, right, that's after taking me about 2.5 days to get done. Right. When I say 2.5 days, now I do 2 hours in the evening, so it's about 5 hours work. You know yourself, it's not sort of 5 hours slowly but surely, you know, putting in little bits and pieces. That's including sort of taking things off the sprue, getting the, you know, turning on the compressor, filling up the airbrush, shaking paints, all the other little bits that go with it. Okay, but in total it took me about 5 hours, right? And this is basically where I've gotten to, right? Now, I know you can't see much there because I've got to turn it around, but we'll start from the bottom bit. There's that wheel well, right, inside painted white. looks lovely, doesn't it? Very, very nice indeed. Now I'll kind of go on to my bit. Now, like, I'm actually happy with it, okay, I really am. I don't think I could have done much better, not with the skill set that I have, my eyesight, even using sort of the super goggles on top of attached to my glasses. I still found it hard, because it's not the fact that I couldn't really see it. I could see it alright, but it was just so small I couldn't really get in there. But there we go. Right. Oh, I'm happy with that. Right. Some people probably wouldn't. A lot of people would probably say, "Oh God, that's goddamn awful." But believe me, I'm actually quite chuffed with how that came out. Right. Now, obviously, the seats aren't made yet, and they've got to go in as well. So there's bits more to go in there. But I'm happy with my progress so far, and like I said, it did take me 2.5 days. The only thing I have to be really careful is there's this little bit here sticking down, as you can see, and it sticks down there. So it's going to be very, very fragile. So I have to be very, very careful when I place it down, not to sort of push it down on that. I'm using this yoke here with all the holes, and when I'm placing this down, I'm making sure that it goes down over a hole. And just as I said, I broke it off. I freaking knew it. It was obvious I was going to break it off in front of everybody. Oh, how exciting! There she is. Anyway, it's after popping out. Was that it? No. There it is now. It's after popping out now. There she is. I'll glue it back on. Yeah, if something's going to go wrong, it's going to go wrong on camera, isn't that it? And that what they say. Well, that's what I fucking say anyway, because the amount of stuff that I've broken on camera over the last 2 years has been gas. So anyways, I'm going to continue on with this, right? I've got to glue that back on after. Where did I put it now? There it is. Put that to the side. Yeah. The joys of modelling with John. I always like to fuck up. Excuse my French. Écoutez. That means listen, French. So anyway, right, next step. Right, we're on to the wingy parts of it, right, and the rolly bits, the wheel stanchions, or whatever they're called. I'm calling them stanchions. Probably called something else, but we call them stanchions. Stanchions or stalks. Now, they look very fragile. Can they be put in afterwards, I wonder? Once they go in. Probably not. I'll probably have to build them as is. Well, build them as is. We'll build them as is. You know, we'll follow the instructions. Be a good boy, John. Follow the instructions. Right. So I got two little these boxes to make up with the wheel stanchion stalks, right, and the supporting rods. So I'm going to make up these little boxes here. There we go, and stick in the stanchion rods, right. We've got our wingy things here. We got some holes to make in them. Right. We've got two little pieces to pop into them. Then we're on to the bottom section of the wings. We're popping in our wheelie boxes with the stanchions, covering them up, and popping our wingy bits onto them. Right, so we'll get that far. We'll get as far as that. We won't go on to the engine rockety bits yet. Don't you love my technical terms? I do anyway. I think they're fabulous. Then again, I would. Sure, why not? So anyway, lads, I'm going to get them done as far as here. Right, get the wingy bits in, the wheelie stanchiony, stalky things. I'll get them all done and fitted, and we'll come back then. We'll have a look at that. Right. So step 2 and step 3. We get them done. And then we come back to you and have a look at what that looks like. Oh yeah, and I'm going to fix the that little stalky thing that I broke off. After telling everybody I'm going to be so careful with it, I ended up breaking it off. I should have just left it alone and said nothing and just put it to the side. Because I had it into the yoke. And I went on and broke it off. I'll probably break it off again anyway. So, I'll carry on with that. I'll get them done. We'll come back here and we'll have a look at what all this looks like. Okay then, so here we are down with the instructions again, and we're after getting steps 2 and steps 3 done. When I say we, I mean me. Right, we need to build up the wheel well, stick in the yoke bobs that hold the wheels. Yes, yoke bobs, that is a technical term as far as I'm concerned. Right, so we need to build up those with the other little splodgy bits onto those, another technical term. Make sure you kind of make a note of those sort of yoke bobs and splodgy bits. Then we have the underside of the wings, or the top side of the top part of the wings actually. These two pieces here, we just make a couple of holes. Put in two little doohickeys, right? Then we inserted the wheel wells, those little blanking panels to go into at the back there. More holes to be made, right? They're probably all to hold ordnance and stuff. Hard points, that's the yokes that hold the bombs. Somebody nicely pointed that out to me, thank you very much. Another new word for my technical dictionary. And then put out those pieces here, attach them on. Right, so we'll have a look at what that looks like all done up. And there it is, right? There's our wheels with the yoke bobs and the splodgy bits are in, and the wing tops, they're all in place as well. There's other little bits, more bits to go on, hence the little hole there. The other bits of the wing, they kind of stick up a bit. Or is it down? I think it's up. So far so good. Taking my time at it, because obviously I don't really I don't know what half the parts are, what they do, so you know, as I'm going along I'm learning about them. The instructions here are kind of vague to a certain degree, as in that piece goes on like that, but when you actually go trying to fit it, it is a lot more awkward. But I'm getting there, I'm slowly but surely. Right, now step 4 has us making these what will I call these now? Exhausty tubes, where the flames shoot out the back and engine goes woof and all that kind of stuff. Yay! I think these are probably air intakes then for the engines themselves. So, gotta get them done anyway, whichever the case may be. Whatever they're called, we gotta get them made. Right? So that's step 4. Step 5 then is we are fitting these air intakes and the engine end rockety, flamey, throwy, outy bits. Right, we're attaching all that to our to what we have, and we're also attaching the cockpit section that has the front wheel well. So we'll have our 3 wheel wells done, and our engine parts fitted. Obviously now there's it's missing a whole big engine in here in the middle, which we don't get. Thank God, says John, there's enough in this. But anyway, let's get on with this and get these done, right? So I'm going to get as far as step 5, get them fitted. Then we'll have a look at what all that looks like when it's fitted. Now I have kind of dry fitted that in there. how it's going to actually stay in there, I do not know, because I don't know if the glue will actually hold it in place, but it should. We'll try it anyway. You know, leave it in place overnight, and it should set up. So I get them done. We'll come back to them. We'll have a look at that, and we'll see how everything is going at that stage. Right. So there's the bit there. I don't know if I had it in camera shot or not, because I was looking at the instructions and not at the camera. This is step 5. This is what I'm getting done. The engine bits, the air intakes, and this front cockpit section. Okay, so I'll get them done. I'll get as far as that, and then we'll have a look at it and we'll see how everything is progressing. Right, and so it's back to the instructions again. Right, we're after doing step 4. That's where I'm after making up the intakes and the tubey, fiery, shooty, outy bits. Okay, they're done. And in step 5 then, I'm after getting them fitted. Right, I'm after fitting the cockpit section. This little support here for the intakes. And there's a little kind of a brackety thing then that flies over them, like a little pair of wings, sits over the tubey, fiery, shooty, outy bits. Right? So, that's all done. Nice and technical. We'll have a look at that. So, I'll just bring up the camera just a slight bit. You can see a bit of it there. And ta-da! Okay, there's that. All in place. Now if we look at the underside of that there, that join there leaves you with a bit of a line. I kind of have a little bit of a step here. Should have been a little bit more careful with that and how that went together. I tried to be careful with it. I thought I had it in place when I had it wedged, if you know what I mean. So it must have moved or something. I do not know, but it moved anyway. So it's just a slight little step. I'm not really worried too much about it. I can fill it up with oil painting and a bit of sanding, and we can get it sorted. Everything else looks spiffing, I think. Notice how I say I think, because I haven't got a clue otherwise. Right, so step 6. In step 6 we're making the seats, the pilot's and the navigator, or whatever he is, seats. We've got to make 2 of them, I think. Are they both identical? Oh, I do not know. Yeah, they are. They are identical. We're going to make 2 of them. Okay. Right. So, with the seats, there's a number of parts. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 parts to them. So they're not that difficult by the looks of things. And they got to get painted up as well. Right. We got to paint the sides of them, and these the ejector seat clippies there, they've got to be painted. It says 4 and 2, and the 2, as far as I know, is white. Not 100% sure. We'll just check the colours. It says 4 and 2 for those colours, so I'd say it's red and white, but we'll have a look. So don't take everything for granted. 4 is yellow and 2 is black. So it's yellow and black. I was totally wrong with the colours. There was I saying thinking red and white. It's actually yellow and black. So, do I have yellow? I don't think I have yellow. I have not got yellow. And you know what to say about that is? Bugger. I thought I had yellow. Ooh, must get my hands on some yellow. I'll be in town tomorrow. I can pick up a little bit of yellow. Doesn't really matter which I can get. Doesn't, you know, because I'm hand painting. Well, it doesn't have to be Tamiya. My hobby store, basically, it's a gamer's store. They do all the kind of the Gundam and, well, not really all the Gundam. It's more Warhammer and stuff like that. But they do have the Citadel and the War, whatchamacallit, these ones, war paints, the Army Painter. They have those paints down there, so I'm sure I'll pick up a yellow. What am I looking at there for? All over the shop. Right, so 2 is definitely white anyway, right? So the seats are white, and then there's the actual seat colours. Now, I haven't decided whether I'm going to stick the pilots in or not. But it's telling me there to get them painted up at this stage, obviously, because they're going in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the seats made up, and I'm going to get the pilots made up and painted, both the seats and the pilots, get them painted as well, because I mean they go into the cockpit, then the whole lot then can be sealed off. So we'll get that lot done. I won't go fitting the top onto the bottom yet. What we'll do is we'll have a look. I'll do the seats, do the pilots. Right, we'll have a look at them, and then we'll move on then to step 7. In step 7 then we're basically fitting the seats, fitting the pilots, fitting the main fuselage. I think that's what it's called. The best of my knowledge, it's called that. And we've got this piece here then, which is either open or closed. Now, don't know exactly what it is. I think it's the refueling probe. Yeah, it looks like the refueling probe. You know, it sticks out, and it can sort of do that in-air fueling, or refueling, should I say. Yeah, I'll go for the closed one because I don't really want it sticking out. Not that it's easier or whatever. No, it's just that it's how I want it to look. You know, if I was going for, say, a complicated thing and make it every little bit that's complicated, I'd go for that one. But I'm not going for that. I'm going for a specific look. I'm going to have the wheels down, as I said, so it's not going to be in flight. So the refueling probe, if it's retractable, obviously when they're on the ground, it wouldn't be sticking out. So therefore, I'll go with the closed refueling probe, a bit of anal probing, no, refueling probing, I beg your pardon. Okay, so anyway, I'll get the seats and the pilots done, and then we'll come back, we'll have a look at that and see what all that looks like. Okay, so see you in a sec. Okay, so there we are, down at the instructions again, and we did step 6, and also we did the pilots. Okay, seats went together very easily, very easy indeed, as to the pilots. Had no problems with them. Literally no problems. I wouldn't say they fell together, obviously they don't, but they as good as fell together, the seats. They were so easy to do, and we'll have a look at one of them now. Okay, there's one of the seats. Right. That's one. There's the second one. Basically the same thing, they're both identical. Right. So there's the seats. And here are our pilots, and our digit. Right. Again, like I said, I mean, the construction of these was very easy. They went together no problem at all. I'm going to put a little bit more light down here. Right, they went together no problem at all with them going together. They're very easy. Then again, all you had to do was put on the head and the arms. There was two options there for the helmets. Right, you could have had a fully closed helmet with the mask on, the whole lot. Okay, so I could have gone down that line, but decided not to. I decided to go for the both of them having the without the masks on. Okay. Now the only difference in them is their hands, because it's the same body parts, same heads. This arm is basically the same on both of them. It's just that arm here. The left arm is different. This is the pilot guy, and there's the I suppose we call him I don't know what his actual job is, but we call him the navigator, the weapons man, co-pilot, whatever. Okay. Now, the only way these pilots will go into the seat, if you try to fit them in that way, as you can see, you'll end up damaging the part there that's for the ejector seat opener. So you got to kind of slip him in under it, and he does fit in. He fits in easy, very very easy indeed. Right. So there he is. He's in. That then. Okay. Here's our thing, and the seats literally get their wiggle their legs around a little bit, and there we go. So there's one pilot in. And here's our second chap. Right. So there we've got the cockpit with the pilots in, right? Right. So now we can put that aside and move on. What are we on to now? We're on now to step 7. Okay, and in step 7, if you remember, I was talking about the this thing here, the in-flight refueling probe. I probably even have that technically correct. I don't know. So what I got to do now is we got to fit this the upper fuselage to this, fit in our seats and our pilots and diggets and all that kind of thing. So we're just attaching this piece onto it, and then deciding whether we're having the open or the closed refueling probe. And I've decided that I'm going for the closed one. If I was doing a kind of an in-flight one, I'd probably go with the open one, but because it's going to be on the ground, you'd have if it's a retractable probe, obviously it would be retracted while it's on the deck of the ship. So I get that done. We'll have a look at that, and that should be the end, say, of part 1 of the build update. Okay, so I'll get them done. I'll get the pilots into their respective seats glued in and all that. So bear with me, and I will be back to you in figures 2. Okay, so now as you can see from the way I have it all marked off, that I have that done. I have the in-flight fueling bit of me cheeks, me jiggity done. Whew, that was a mouthful. And I got the pilot and co-pilot or navigator or weapons specialist or whatever he wants to be called. Jack, we call him Jack. They're fitted anyway, okay. No problems with fitting those. The top went down. Everything went in, and it fitted really, really nicely. We do have a bit of a line there, but you know, it can't be helped. But they're all fitted anyway, okay. And there's our pilot and our co-pilot, or Jack, shall we say, in position. Get a bit more light on the subject there. So, as you can see, they've got their all their instruments and all that are done. They're in, and the pilots are in place. right? Oh, all well and good. So that's about it now for this upload, update, build update number 1. I don't want to put too much into it because if the video is too long, people won't bother watching it, and if you're actually interested in it, you will want to watch it. So if I put too much info in, people won't watch it. So we've got as far as step 7. So far, so good. Everything went well. No problems whatsoever. Lovely fit, and like I said, I mean, I'm not a winged person, specialist or anything like that. So, you know, from what I can gather from a modelling standpoint, everything's nice. No problems with fit or anything like that, or any of the parts. They're lovely, nicely moulded and all that. So in the next update, we'll be finishing it off, well, the construction side of it anyway. We have another 8 steps to go because it goes up as far as 15. We've done it as far as 7. We'll get the construction side of it done anyway. So stay tuned to the channel for that. In the meantime, enjoy your own modelling, and let me know what you think in the comments box below on how I'm doing with this this jet or whatever you want to bloody well call it, the F4 Phantom. I'm enjoying it. I must say I am enjoying it. I'm liking the slower pace, shall we say. It's a lot slower pace than armour because you got to be a bit more, you know, a lot cleaner with the glue, and you know, parts that fit, and get it sort of sanded down and cleaned off, and you know, making sure that everything fits perfect first time. Whereas with armour you can be a little bit haphazard with it, and you can add your own bits and pieces, and if something goes wrong you can always take a little chunk out of it and say it's battle damage. Not so much with an airplane. So anyway, that's it, like I said, for this update. Stay tuned to the channel for further updates, and we'll be back to you quite shortly. So like I said, don't forget to any comments or anything you'd like to ask me, stick in the comments box below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, and if you have, thank you. And speaking of that, give it the old thumbs up. Okay, give it the old thumbs up, or thumbs down. If you want to give it a thumbs down, give it a thumbs down. I'm not telling you what to do, but if you do give me a thumbs down, just let me know why. Okay, so until the next one, lads, stay safe, enjoy your modelling, be nice to one another, and most important of all, go and get yourself a kit, build it and enjoy it. It's John signing off. I'll catch you on the next one, lads. Stay safe.